This episode is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Meow, 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 meow. Welcome, kittens and cats. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Ricky.
And we're on this frequency. And on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the 10,000 options we have when it comes to communicating personally and professionally. But first, here's this week's moment of laughter from comedian Bill Burr.
So here's something I saw the other day I've not seen in a long time. You know what I saw? I saw balls on a dog. Hey, remember that shit? Dude, I have not seen that since like the late 90s. I was literally sitting there looking like, I remember that shit. Dogs used to have balls. I remember that. Remember that? You pick your friend, hey, look at his balls, you know, and everybody would laugh. No, but somewhere along the line, it became socially acceptable to cut your dog's balls off, whether there's anything wrong with them or not, under the whole fear of like, well, if we don't do it, he's gonna fuck another dog, they're gonna make more dogs, and what are we gonna do with all these dogs? They're not gonna have homes? What are we gonna do? I love that shit. What are we gonna do? It's like, dude, they're animals. Just let them go. They'll be fine. They got fangs, they got claws, they'll form packs, you know? They'll help with the obesity problem in this country, you know? You come stumbling out of a cheesecake factory just like a herd of fucking Rottweiler running at you. You gotta run to your SUV, dive in Dukes of Hazzard style, right? No, I'm pro dog balls.
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh my God.
Pro dog balls.
The reason why I love that clip so much is because I imagine that family coming out of the Cheesecake Factory.
That family was me like 3 days ago. Me and Rachel went to the Cheesecake Factory.
But there's something about the way comedians explain things sometimes that I just immediately in my head like
You're envisioning
and
it.
start to envision this like it's a post-apocalyptic world. There's packs of dogs everywhere, and they're just eating us.
Yeah, they're fucking and chasing you around everywhere.
They're eating us. But it reminded me, like, do you judge people who you see with dogs and their balls?
No, not necessarily, but it's definitely like it definitely comes to me as like a shocker when I see it because we don't see it anymore. We really don't.
I didn't realize that until he said that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, because it does. You're like, oh man, you haven't taken care of that problem with your dog and his balls,
Right. And then it's just like a whole bunch of thoughts start coming into my head like, damn, he must hump a lot. He must like have this as a fucking annoying ass dog all day long. Mike and I have some friends, this couple that have two dogs, two labs. Is it a lab? They must be a lab. Yeah, two labs. And every time we go over to their house, hey, so when are you gonna fix your dog, man? Like
he's
got
they're
some
not
big
fixed.
balls.
Oh
like,
my God.
And it's really weird. I'm like, God, these balls are just hanging around. And
Oh
he's
my
walking.
God, Natalie.
Yeah, and like I can't help but stare because I'm like, fuck, these are so big balls.
Right, but see, and that's the thing. Like, why do you think that it's wrong?
Right.
Right? Because he goes on in that comedy piece that he does, he goes on to say, he's like, I had a dog for 15 years growing up in my house with his balls.
Yeah.
And he just laid around, ate, didn't, he would hump somebody every now and then, but it was not this like aggressive, you need to hurry up and fix your dogs. But I think there is a lot of judgment for people who don't spay or neuter
Yeah.
their pets. I remember a coworker years ago, I was telling her how I got a cat. Did you get the cat fixed? And I hadn't. And it was like one of the first cats I had ever had.
Yeah.
Oh man, this lady got on my ass.
Yeah.
It is very irresponsible of you to take on a cat
Right.
without getting the cat fixed. Do you
Yeah.
understand that the cat and dog population is booming and they're not
Yeah.
oh man, I got
PETA on your ass, basically.
ooh, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do this now.
I wonder if that's like, is that a bubble thing? Like, meaning that it's only us here in
Probably.
California that
I
because
don't know. That's a good question.
you know what I mean? Because that's also very much a county thing. Like, oh, the county's going to come around your house. And if they see that you got pets, well, let me make sure that it's registered. And then let me make sure that it's neutered or spayed or whatever it is. And if not, we're going to charge you a fee. So now we're all just like, all fucking, why isn't your dog
the message
neutered?
is national because if you
That's what I thought.
if you ever watched The Price is Right when you were growing up as a kid, Bob Barker's final remarks in every single show was,
You're right.
don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember
shit.
that.
That was his sign-off. That was his famous sign-off every single time.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
true.
Yeah, it's a
Damn.
national message, but I'm not sure if it's taken as serious in other places as it is in Southern California.
Yeah.
Also,
Interesting.
Bill Burr is a great comedian, and
Yes.
he has another little piece where he's talking about his love affair with a rescue pit bull.
Oh, yes. I was actually looking for that one after that.
It's
That's a good piece.
so funny, so
That
funny.
it is. It's good.
Well, that clip came from comedian Bill Burr's special called 50, recorded live from New York earlier in his career. Meow, 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 meow.
So my dad, brother, and I, we have this group thread on WhatsApp. And more times than not, I do not reply as I'm not that active on WhatsApp. So a few months ago, my dad got on my case about being non-responsive on WhatsApp. Why do we have to use WhatsApp if you can just text me, Dad? I don't even like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I complained to him. He went on to explain how it was an important business app. It's a global tool that everyone uses.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I realized at that point that it wasn't that I didn't like WhatsApp. It was that I hated managing all the different places that I had to check where people had access to communicate with me. My cell phone text messages, voicemails, Instagram DMs for my personal and business account, my kids' school platform, Facebook instant messages, TikTok DMs, LinkedIn messages, WhatsApp, Twitter, and the 4 different email accounts that I have. Entirely too many options to get a hold of someone. How the hell did we get here?
Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, for sure. We got here slow and fast all at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I share that sentiment. Text message, voicemail, Instagram, blah, 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 this, that, the other. And I guess we could start with email was the thing. Everyone, get a hold of me through email, blah, blah, blah. And then LinkedIn started coming up and then Instagram. But it's funny that we talk about all these direct messaging platforms all of a sudden, because Instagram, for example, wasn't always like that. The DM option only came about like recently, I don't want to say yesterday, but
After Facebook acquired them.
Right, because Facebook had instant messaging, and that's when I think probably the first time I was using an app, a social media app to communicate with people outside of that.
for Facebook. You mean? Yeah.
on
They had like
Facebook.
it was like a whole separate app, right?
Yes,
So
it was.
That's funny. But what would you say is like, what is your preferred method of communication?
So if you have my cell phone number, you have a direct line to me. So let me here's the thing. Meaning
Barley.
this, right? Yeah, you have my number, so you can call, you can text. But
Ricky,
it's
you
not
and
a priority.
I both know
it's not a priority.
You and I both know it's not a direct line because you hardly answer the phone, girl.
That's true. Why? Because I have 17 other places that I'm trying to manage as well, right?
Yeah.
It's text messaging would be my priority. Meaning, like, if that's I want to get to that place where if you need to get a hold of me, you have my number.
Yeah.
Go that route.
Yeah.
Don't DM me in every social media platform. Don't send me an email. That's why I'm reaching a point, I can't even talk, where I can't keep up with shit. Where was I having that conversation
Yes.
with so and so?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not in my text messages. Oh, it's in WhatsApp. Oh, wait, no. It was in the IG DM group feed.
Yeah.
It's like there's too many options.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that this contributes in any way to the younger generation's rise in ADHD?
Sure.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, how are you supposed to
Hell
focus if
yeah.
you have all these areas that are just as important? One of the when
Or ADD, ADHD,
Yeah.
whatever the you know what I'm
most
talking about.
current-
yeah, I know exactly
Yes.
what you're talking about. When my personal Instagram account was hacked, I was flipping out because I had DMs in there from people that I was trying to do business with.
Yeah.
I had DMs in there with conversations with people I had never met before who didn't have my cell phone number, who didn't have my email, who were like, oh, we're going to do this show, or oh, we're going to do this and that.
Yeah.
When I lost it, I was like, oh my God, shit.
You forgot about the other part of your DMs, Ricky.
What other part of my DMs?
Your personal DMs.
Or it's saucy.
Where they're sliding up in your DMs like, hey girl.
Right.
Where
But
the magic happens.
no. You know,
The secret underground
funny
DMs.
story. I was in Washington with some coworkers a few years ago, and one of them was like, dude, I bet your DMs are popping. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm sure your DMs are like, I gave him my phone.
Yeah.
I said, here, have a look at all my DMs.
Yeah.
I mean, back then,
Yeah.
there was nothing
Oh, so you mean
enticing.
that there's
No. I'm saying it's just different, and maybe
Oh.
just they follow different people now. I have
Okay.
different.
Okay.
I have a different life now than I did back then.
Oh.
I was more focused
you
on
know?
yeah. I was more focused on the career at hand that didn't lend itself to creatives. Now, I'm not saying that if you're not a creative, you're not in my DMs. What am I even saying right
What
now?
Ricky's trying to say is that she's available and her DMs
no, I am not.
are
Her
popping.
DMs are wide open.
No.
Especially those of you who love the Big Bro Jake Baby Bites of Love.
On the DMs. God, no. I'm trying to eliminate people trying to talk to me
Yeah.
on every level. Like,
Yeah.
just send me a smoke signal or a letter at this point.
I like that.
A
Because
pigeon?
even
You want a pigeon?
and even then, I totally forgot about the tangible way we communicate. Literally mail.
Yeah.
I have mail stacking up. I don't even want to open it. It's like, oh God.
God.
Stuff I have to deal with. So that's when, and then I told myself, I'm going to delete WhatsApp. And I'm just going to go back and tell my dad, look,
Sorry.
if you want to, and actually, since we had that conversation, he has started to text me more, right?
Well, because he can, right?
he
it's-
he
that's
has
his
my
thing.
number, so he's texting me more. We still don't have a group, text thing with my brother, only on WhatsApp. But then here's what threw everything off.
It's funny.
My grandmother
Oh.
sends me messages on WhatsApp.
Does she?
Yeah, she does every day. So now I'm like,
Is that that's probably her preferred method of.
I mean,
Communication?
she's texted me before.
I mean, is it just the I don't know. It's funny because I only use WhatsApp with and I guess that makes sense for your dad and your grandma, because
They're
out of-
international.
yeah, because the people that I communicate with on WhatsApp are not here.
But even then, they
So-
have Wi-Fi. If they're in the house
Yeah.
and they're on Wi-Fi and they have iPhones,
And the texting is free
it's
and
fucking
unlimited.
free.
Yeah.
So why do I have to look at another app to talk to you? And even then, I don't like. And this is why, like Bartley was saying earlier,
Are we
I'm
old?
not.
Are
I'm
we
not
aging
responsive.
ourselves?
No, because back then, people who were aging themselves back in the 50s, I'm sure they were complaining that they got a phone, like a hardline phone, and now people have access
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
call them
Yeah.
as opposed to having to walk over to their house or to have mail delivery. I'm sure that
That's so funny. But I do think about that. Like, okay, so our like, for example, are our parents now more hip than we are, where all of a sudden they're using the latest thing? to
What latest thing?
communicate?
Oh,
Well,
like-
like WhatsApp.
Oh, my
you know?
parents. See,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
here's the other thing about WhatsApp. I don't know who or where I heard this,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody was like, "Oh, WhatsApp is for cheaters." I was like, "What do you mean it's for cheaters?" She's like, "Yeah, because it deletes all your history. Like, it's all gone." So now I'm
And it's
associating.
encrypted.
Right. So now I'm associating. Like, oh my god.
But you can use all sorts of apps like that. Like you
Right.
can a cheater can take any
Well, duh,
app and
right.
cheat.
I had never heard that though, where it was like specifically was like,
On
I'm not trying
WhatsApp.
to talk to you on WhatsApp anymore. You know my number, text me. I'm
you
like,
know what other platform deletes your history like that?
Snapchat.
Oh,
I don't have a
yeah.
Snapchat.
I have a Snapchat.
That'd be another
but
form
that was
of
for my hoe days too. So I
no.
get it.
See, I don't. To my point, like, how many pieces of
Yeah.
communication. And then here's the other thing too. I have a friend who was like, yo, you didn't respond to my text message,
I know.
but I saw you were on social media 32 minutes ago and you couldn't see my message. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you jumped into my phone and saw the 32 text messages from 17 different people before you,
Yeah.
right?
What a guilt trip.
And I'm sorry that I didn't take the opportunity. I'm telling you, I'm over all of this. There's a part of me that's like, let me just go to a remote island. Where could I go where there's no Wi-Fi? There's no nothing there, and I can just, because I wake up anxious like,
How many apps do you have
Shit.
on your phone, Ricky?
I've deleted a lot, and I've actually recently I've changed my screen so that I don't know. I'm gonna
Well, you
find
can
out.
go into the general and about your phone and see exactly how many.
I'm gonna find out, but
applications.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I have 172.
No, I definitely don't have that.
I have 95 applications.
Wait, where do you go? Jesus Christ.
General.
Go to settings and then go to general, and then go to about, and it'll tell you how many photos, how many videos, how many applications.
Settings, and then general.
And then about
What?
at the top.
I don't even see general.
It's like your third little box option.
When was the last time you
It
updated
says
your phone?
Bluetooth. Oh, it says I should
going down.
update. I haven't updated.
That's probably why.
Oh,
anyways,
general. I see the
there it is,
general.
general.
And then you
about.
said about, and then apps.
It tells you how many.
Oh, 53.
Applications.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
I have triple that.
I have
Why?
95.
You do not use
Oh, Mom.
95 apps a day.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you?
right. I don't.
Not a day. Well, some of them I know are
haven't
old
used
and I
in a
can delete them.
while.
I have a lot of games on my phone that I play a lot.
I have a lot of bullshit on my phone. I'm glad we're looking at this because now I'm like, yeah, you know what? I really don't need all of these. What the fuck am I on here for?
Exactly my point. And see, this actually goes
Get
back.
on your level.
This goes back, and I'm still gonna delete more. But when Natalie and myself had a conversation with Severe, we were trying to kind of remove some space, get some bandwidth for him. I'm gonna text him right now and ask him how many apps he has on his phone. But
Yeah.
I remember Natalie put him on a plan where it was like, delete as many apps as you can that you don't need.
Right.
And then go into your email and unsubscribe from as many emails as possible. Because all that is added.
Like a
Shit.
notification. Bing, bing.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
day long.
I remember being in my room the other night. I couldn't sleep. And finally, and I know that the phone has an opportunity to do your settings where like
Yeah,
it won't
silence your
disturb you.
phone.
Yeah. But I think it was already like in the morning when my alarm was about to go off, when I was finally going to sleep. And boom, I started getting my email notifications. Bing, bing,
Ugh.
bing, bing. And I had my phone, I could feel my phone. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh no, man, I need to disconnect myself from this. But then I think in my mind, well, who's trying to get a hold of me? What did I forget? What do I need to do? Am I missing an opportunity with something? And that goes back to my dependency on how people communicate and how people reach out and how we have so many options to communicate with people, you
And
know?
and we just become so available all of a sudden.
That part too.
Where it's like, well, you're working and your main source, the main tool that you use for your job is your phone and your laptop, which now are in sync and go hand in hand. So you better be getting to my text message right away. I just saw you were on social media.
It's
What do you
terrible.
mean you're unavailable?
It's terrible. Or
You
hey,
know?
I just read.
Yeah.
You left me on red. I know that you read my text message,
Yeah.
but haven't replied.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry that you.
Do you have that setting on your phone, like the red?
Isn't it standard on all iPhones?
It is, but you can remove it.
Yeah, I have mine off for that reason because I had something very similar. Like, you left me on red. Like, I'm trying to get a hold of you, and I'm like, no, not anymore. You're not. You are undelivered. I will get to you when I get to you.
I think the only time that I feel okay about it is like with my kids, where
for
I
sure.
know that they read it, so I'm like, all right, cool. I don't need you to respond to me right away, but I know that you saw it, you're aware of it, so we're cool, right? But even then, that gives you a false sense of, it gives you a false sense of reality. So they may have seen it, but what if they were, not in a place to receive the message in the literal sense where, wait, she said I needed to get milk versus just you're reading it and you throw your phone.
Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, there's just technology. It's a gift and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
And it gives me so much anxiety. Not to bring up Severe again, but he always tells the story of why he's always checking his phone is to check his email, because a long time ago he missed an email from the Dodgers where they're like, oh, make sure you have this song queued up. So that like penetrated, I think, his brain. And so that's a fear of his. And I'm always like, okay, bro, but you don't have to always like. And then one day we were, Bartley, what's the name of that baseball player? And I'm going to totally get it wrong. Jensen.
Kenley Jensen.
Kenley Jansen reached out and wanted Rose City Sound to do the sound for their foundation event that was coming up. So I had been in communication with the lady, and one of the last things that we discussed was, and this is all through email, was COVID was making its rounds. They were going to cancel the event, and then she came back and she was like, we're thinking of, and she gave me like a date. She said, we're thinking. I replied and I said, cool. I completely forgot about it. And I kept looking through my email and I'm like, oh my God. And we were in the truck one day and Severe goes, hey, whatever happened to Jensen's event?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like scrolling through every single email because I'm like, if I lost this opportunity, like this is bad. This is not good.
Yeah.
And this is going to be because of an oversight.
Yeah.
And I talk so much shit to him about like, you don't always have to be on your phone checking your, and here I am frantically looking for
this email.
It ended up in a completely different inbox.
Oh my God.
That I don't even use. You know how Apple gives you like, oh, Ricky@me.com or some shit like that?
Yeah.
How it ended up in that,
You moved it or it was moved or whatever.
I don't freaking know, because my email to her was, hey, can you confirm this date?
Yeah.
My nightmare was her to say yes, and then we never make the date. By the grace of the good gods above, she was like, no, we're going to postpone until next year. But I hadn't seen that email or replied to that email in like 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I immediately replied to her. I go, I'm so sorry. This went to a completely different, and please send it to this one. But that's a lot of my anxiousness, right?
Yeah.
What if you miss that DM on whatever freaking app that you're using, where someone is hitting you up like, hey, we'd like to sponsor you. We'd really love to use it. And you're like, screw you, technology and DMs and all this stuff. I'm going to go back to just call me on the phone. And then bam, you miss out on your opportunity because you decide to complain about all the ways you can get a hold of me.
Right. No, I think a lot of us can relate to that. I recently had that experience where, so 9 months, 9 months out of the year, I do, I'm in a mentorship program where I mentor high school students, right? And they're in this whole like business program to get a scholarship to go to college, this, that, the other. And so long story short, every month, we meet, we talk about their business plan, their scholarship, and it's on a set time and date of the month. And so it's so funny that we're trying to be so organized and have all of these apps and all of these communication tools to get it together, right? So we won't miss a beat. I get the email, hey, we're going to meet this Saturday at this place at this time. Be ready. Here's the Zoom. Here's the this, that, the other. Okay, great. I'm fucking set. The week comes. Oh, I have this thing. I write it. I have it on my email, and then I have it on my planner. I'm meeting with these kids on Saturday morning. I'm not going to miss it. Saturday comes, Saturday morning. I'm like, great. My meeting is in an hour. I'm not going to miss it. I fucking missed it entirely. it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, oh, what a day, it's a great
You
day.
abandoned.
I completely forgot about the mentorship meeting. I was like, oh shit, the fucking meeting. And so I'm emailing the kids. I'm so sorry. I was so prepared that I forgot.
Listen to what you just said. You were so prepared
Yeah.
that you forgot.
You let the kids down, Natalie.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, back to what we were saying, like, is all of this communication and opportunity for things and reminders and settings just adding to our anxiety?
Yes.
And
yes, it is. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know that I'm not well when I don't. You can open up my planner right now because I like to physically write. It's blank for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't blame
not.
you.
That is not a good sign. That is
Right.
not a good sign
You're
because you know
overwhelmed.
I'm not on my shit, right?
Yeah.
But you guys got me on this Google Calendar crap, right? I'm doing it. I think it was last Friday.
You actually have been really good with that.
I've been trying, man. Last Friday, like right now, I'm thinking about how we have to put Big Brother Jake's meeting in on Tuesday, or I'm going to forget. Or the meeting that I have on Friday that just popped up yesterday. Hey, can we meet on Friday?
Or
Cool.
the podcast episodes that we have to
Right.
schedule with our guests.
But I'm like, no, wait a minute. I can't now on Friday because I have an opportunity to work and I need work and that's priority, but now I got to it's just a shit show, right? But so last Friday, the same thing happened. We were finishing up a show. I don't remember what we were doing. And last Friday we had my cousin Noel here.
Yeah.
I get a phone call, or Ray comes in and tells me, goes, hey, Severe said to call because for the show tomorrow. I said, what show tomorrow? There's no show tomorrow. Well, we did get booked for a show.
Yeah.
The date was Monday, February 21st. Well, I think the 21st was a Saturday. But when the lady told me the date, that's how she put it, right?
Yeah.
The 21st was a Monday.
Okay, I'm sorry. She put Saturday, February 21st. That's what she put. I put it in the calendar on the 21st. The show was on Saturday, not Monday.
Oh, damn it.
So she messed up the date.
Right.
And you just went along with it.
So what happened was the lady hits up Severe. Hey, can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm so excited. And he's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking
I'm gonna
about?
see you on Monday because the calendar says Monday. And he's like, what happened, Rick? And so I sent him a screenshot and I'm like, dude, it said,
We're all chronically messed up.
it said, yeah,
with our date
man.
and time.
So I thank God that we make it to shows
Yeah.
at this point. But again, that's what makes me want to have the comfort of like a regular job
Yeah.
where you clock in from 9 to 5 and nothing you know what's going to happen in this time frame.
Yeah.
If you want to do anything extra afterwards, okay.
Right.
But you know what's going to happen in this time.
Yeah.
I know of a place that's hiring, Ricky. Just FYI.
No, it's true though. I was just telling, I actually got to hang out with Rachel for a little bit a few days ago, and I was telling her that I've been really struggling with organization and just completing tasks. Because now, obviously it's all up to you. It's all up to you to be organized, to have this, that, the other. And I was telling her, like, you know what? I'm looking for a job because there's nothing like how you're saying, clock in, clock out, have a task, you complete it.
Yep.
Somebody is looking for you to complete the work. You're what is the word? You're basically communicating with somebody else that you've completed such a task, and somebody's depending on you and you have a deadline. I was telling Rachel, I was like, I need that because right now I feel like everything is just too much. So
Yeah.
I need some stability in my life.
Stability is the great word for it. And that's why I drive all the way to Highland Park.
Yeah.
Because I know that this is what has to get done.
Yeah.
And I do it, blah, blah. The drive is what is killing me now, though, because COVID is gone now, apparently, to all of Southern California. And people are on these streets again.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the hardest thing right now in looking for a stable job or just a job in general is when you're overqualified.
Yeah.
That's my problem right now because I don't want a management position.
Yeah.
Just give me a regular job.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say this real quick and I'll share it because this is just as of yesterday morning. I fucking got a job, dude, remote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm completely overqualified. And I was telling Mike, like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to get this job. And we were both kind of commenting that the banking industry doesn't want us back because we keep getting rejected by every single company that we try to go to. A side note, there was a bank that I was applying for that was telling me that I was too expensive. They couldn't afford me. So I was like, well, fuck, like, I need a job, damn it. Get me in. So anyway, I finally go through this recruiter and they tell me, and this is why I was nervous. I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to get this job because here's this comment. Hey, so I know you have this interview, getting you set up. I just want to make sure that, you because it's on Teams, on Microsoft Teams. You understand Microsoft Teams, you have the app, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also noticing that you have, you're kind of overqualified for this position.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to
You're like, don't tell them.
Yeah, I was totally like,
how can we remove that from the?
I was like, recruiter, sir, listen, I applied. I applied for this job.
Knowingly.
I said yes. I'm ready for the interview. I want it. Put me in. Oh, okay. And sure enough, like I was able to get the job. But it's tough out there.
Here's the thing. And it's funny that he mentioned you're familiar with Microsoft Teams, right? Guess what that is? Another app. Another app that you're going to instant messaging and document sharing.
Yeah.
And oh my God. I remember when we first got Microsoft Teams at the last employer that I had, I was like, people that had my cell phone number, okay? People had my cell phone number, and that's how we communicated with one another.
Yeah.
And now they're like on Teams, right? And they're like, well, I reached out to you on Teams. I'm like, why? You have my phone number. Why would you break away? I didn't have this much wrath back then, though, right? But so they were like, why would you break away from this custom that we've had to communicate via text for the last 13 years?
Yeah.
Why would you deviate from that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, because it's a new app and everything, it's business. I was like, right. I have a company phone, so they have access to all of my. But that's probably when it started for me.
Another thing that's frustrating, Natalie, that you bring up, like the whole overqualified thing.
Yeah.
The thing that drives me crazy when I'm looking through like potential job postings is they want all this experience. Well, how the hell am I supposed to get experience if I can't get into the job that you're like? How do you get experience if you don't have experience?
You get lucky.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to tell when I used to do the career days at Chafee. I used to tell the kids, like, whatever job you're first applying for, or any job, it's gonna be the first time you ever do it. You've never done that position at that company before. But to Bartley's point, sometimes it just takes
a whole bunch of luck, follow up, determination. I
really magically
XYZ.
Drafting a resume that can magically connect the dots
to why you just I do have to agree, like it is hard, because even trying to break away from the industry that you're in is hard, because someone
you're
from
attached
another,
to that industry.
Someone from another industry is like, no, but you're from, you're in aerospace, or you're in banking, or you're in whatever, retail. Why do you want to come here? Go back over there. But going back to Ricky, what you were saying about the forms of communication, about just text me, why are you on Microsoft Teams? A while back when I was at an older job, I had a coworker that sold sneakers, right? Selling sneakers was his thing. So we're in the break room, and then he tells me, like, so I'm reaching out to this person because I guess they were going to collaborate, some sneaker deal. I don't know, whatever. They're going to collaborate. So he reaches out to the guy or girl, the person, through text. And that person responded with, hey, bro, why are you texting me? Just send me a DM on Instagram. My text,
God.
like, I don't use text messaging for this.
That's what I'm telling you. It has to be a thing.
It is. I think it definitely.
Okay, but
maybe
what
is it like a personal
thing?
And then
right.
The thing is, like, we all have a different thing.
Yeah.
That we prioritize.
Everybody's different, right? Because and here's what made me think about it too. Like, we went to the Beat Junkies came out with their Sure Shot beer at Arrowhead or Arrow Lodge, I think in West Covina. We were there this last Sunday. I met so many people.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens is people be like, oh, there's two types of people. Let me see your IG. Give me your IG.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then there's other people that are like, what's your number?
Yeah.
Right? For me, people that ask, for me, like you said, because it's all different.
Yeah.
People who ask me for my number, it's like, okay, you want to be up in my business. Like you want, there's something there.
Agreed.
Where you can network, so we can build off of this.
Yeah.
You want to see my IG first? I always think that that's someone younger.
Yeah.
I always think that they want like an overview of things. And then that's probably how they'll end up communicating with me.
They want to dissect you first in
which
your
is
life.
fine, which is totally good.
Yeah.
And then there's the rare person that says both. Oh, can I see your no. Can I have your number? Yeah. All right. And then here's my IG.
Yeah.
And I collected an incredible amount of phone numbers this weekend, and I thought, oh God, what did I just do?
Yeah.
What did I just do? Because now I have these new numbers in my text thingy.
Yeah.
Now I feel compelled to be
Follow-ups.
like, hey, you know what? It was great meeting you. La 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 la. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what am I doing? Which is weird, right? Because it's a love-hate thing.
Yeah.
I love doing that. Like that's naturally who I am. It's like, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where I hate the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
And so, but then the vicious cycle goes.
But
all right,
need it,
I love it. I hate the maintenance, and then I say maybe I just need to carefully curate who I really want in this circle. Like, who do I really want to talk to? Who do I really need to talk to or build something with? And how do I want to reduce all of that. I want to reduce everything. I don't want to live in this state of unknown.
Yeah. Or just dealing with so many people and not knowing what is their purpose in my life.
You know, it made me think of something. We were learning this morning, right, how the Russians went into the Ukraine.
Yeah, that's so sad.
And I learned of a story from on the maternal side of my family. My great-grandfather, he came from Poland. And the story went that while the war was still going on, that he would, be in the kitchen just drinking, listening to the radio. Because that's the only way
Information
to find out what was going on. That was their instant message. That was their text messaging. That was their complete form of communication, was this information that was being transmitted through a radio. And it was devastating. And I'm thinking now, this morning on Michael Barbaro, The Daily, who I love. I'm a big fan of Michael Barbaro.
Yeah.
They had an incredible, they had an incredible story on the journalists that were over there right now. And ironically, WhatsApp came up. The discussion of how some of these reporters record, how you could send those audio messages, which you can also do in text, but you can't, I don't think you can go from Apple to Android that easily, right? Yeah. But you can with WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So they were, exchanging voice memos back and forth of everything that was going on over there and how real time. And I guess ultimately that's what you would say is one of the benefits of having all of these forms of communication through these different platforms and messaging apps is how
broadcasting too,
how immediate how immediate information can be communicated on any platform. Because like you said earlier, how are you supposed to know how that person likes to communicate? How do you know what that person's priority is to communicate? If you discover that I'm a type of person that likes to communicate through TikTok, then you're going to communicate. You better be ready with that TikTok to communicate with me, because if you try any other way, I'm not going to hit you up. So it's almost like the amount of messaging apps that you have is really just availability for how the opposing person that you want to communicate with communicates. You want to be ready for how they communicate.
Right. And then I guess it's just uncovering that by trying those multiple platforms.
Man, oh man.
You know what I mean? Because, like, through Primavera, of course, the main form of communication there to me would be send me a DM. Or you got an order, or you're inquiring, or you have a whatever. But then I don't get notifications on my phone for any, I shouldn't say any, for most apps. So I won't see it for a couple hours or a day or two. So then it becomes like, sorry, I didn't mean not to see your message. I'm just not on there like that.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
so no, and that brings up a perfect point, because it just made me think, like, I just forgot that I had an offer up. I was trying to sell a wig, and you have to deal with DMs there with offer up, because people want to buy your shit. And not only do they send you like a little DM, but they also send you an email, right? Because they don't know how you're gonna communicate.
Yeah.
But you're thinking of all of these ways again to communicate, and it's
overwhelming. And
it's
you know what, to
overwhelming.
add, sorry, I want to add another one. I was DMing one of my friends, because you send memes and you send all this stuff, and then you end up having conversation. That's another thing. You end up having conversations with the people that you normally talk to on DMs, right? So we're DMing back and forth, blah blah blah, and then I guess her daughter got a hold of her phone, so she accidentally video messaged me. And so then I when I open up my Instagram, I have like 10 messages, and I'm like, whoa, what happened here? And it's her, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
My daughter had my phone, and then I look at my phone, my actual phone calling list, and on there it says that I had an Instagram video missed call from, and I won't say.
But that's on your regular phone log.
Yeah,
that's what tripped me out.
That trips me out too. That I'm like, whoa, this is just too in sync. Too much opportunity for availability to communicate.
Right.
I was partly bothered. I was like, ew, I don't want this to come up on my phone
right.
like that. I just want Instagram to stay in Instagram, and my phone
keep everything in its
separate.
in its lane. We were doing a live stream the other day, and we were on Twitch, and Twitch has Whisper.
Oh, is that a DM?
Yes.
Like a messaging thing? Oh, I didn't know that.
Send this person a whisper.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Oh.
So we had this guy, and Severe was like, hey, we're gonna send you some merch. So I get on the mic and I'm like, hey, so and so, send me a DM. And he's like, where? Right?
Yeah.
He's like, Twitch, Twitter, like, and I'm like,
email.
As soon as that, I'm like, oh, never mind. Never mind.
Send me your P.O. box.
Fucking send me a smoke signal. Put a message in a bottle and just throw it out there.
Oh, damn it. I mean, it is what that's just the age that we're living in. I don't think that I don't think there's going to be less of there. I think there's going to be more of.
It's always going to be more from here on out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to come down to.
There's going to be the next new app. There's going to be the next new thing, and people are going to download it. Just like TikTok came out of nowhere, and everybody has a TikTok. The next app is going to come, and everybody's going to download it, and that'll be the new thing, and then there'll be a new one.
It's going to come down to people's choices. It's going to come down to the quality of life that people want to live. Because you're right, Bartley P. It's one after another, left, right, left. But the quality of life, the time that you want to spend, how you want to live your life.
Yeah.
And life will tell you. If you just shut up and listen to it, life will tell you what you got to do. Your circumstances will tell you the volume that you need to be living your life at. And that includes how many apps you have, how many people have access to you, the quality of life.
Ooh, listen to that intuition for our next episode. Well, that was a good fucking conversation.
Yep.
Don't get a hold of me through any type of You know what? Send me a letter. I have yet to be. Yeah, I haven't gotten any letters lately. Well, ever.
I have some friends that do I'll get Christmas cards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I do. I used to get letters from prison. But yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as letters are concerned, the closest thing to it would be the holidays. But that's about it. So anyway, if you guys are just as flustered as we are about the forms of communication, let us know how you're feeling. Don't forget.
Wait, how do you want them to let us know?
Yeah, we have one way of communication,
DM,
and that's
or
it.
Email
Look.
on this frequency, or our own personal.
Which I know a lot of our listeners do.
Yes.
Some of them, they reach out to us via our On This Frequency DM on Instagram. Some of us reach out to us on our personal Instagram. Some of us have yet to reach out to us on our Gmail, letting us know what topics they would like to hear more about. I'm still waiting. I have crickets in that inbox.
Because they're all DMing. That's why.
I ain't mad. I guess that's our form of communication.
People are like,
IG.
Is that a Gmail? Is that an email address?
Kind of like an
That's
AOL.
so old.
AOL.
Yeah.
You just need to start referring people to your IG DM if they have any
Topic
comments.
recommendations, comments, concerns,
Yep.
complaints. Well, there you have it, folks. Communicate with us.
Slide into those DMs.
Yes. But all right, y'all. Every week we have a review that we read from one of our listeners. And this week's review comes to us from Levi. Leaveye.
Wait, hold on. You said Levi, and you know how I read it? Leave ye.
Oh.
Wait, spell that again?
Leaveye.
I thought like leave Kanye West. Leave ye.
Huh.
Ye. Yeah.
Leaveye.
But I like how you said it, Levi. That's how.
Levi. Well, you perspective, y'all. Perspective.
Sorry.
So anyway, the title of this review is called "The Real Talk and Humor." I love listening to this podcast. It's the perfect balance between real life talk and humor. Some favorite conversations are about the not so perfect day-to-day things and hardships that happen to us, which may all seem hidden in the perfect images of social media. Anger, rage, frustration, etc. are all real life things that are getting more and more buried, and it's so important to actually talk about it and ways to handle it. Thank you for such great content.
I love this review.
I love it.
Hey, so
Cute.
Levi or Leave Ye, if you could just send us a DM with a voice memo with a pronunciation.
Yeah.
I forgot about voice memos in Instagram DMs too.
Yeah.
So many options.
Yeah, so if you're on Instagram, and you follow us, let us know who you are and how you say leave ye or leave ye or Levi.
Oh my God.
But that's that. Besides the that great review, make sure to
He can edit this. So
Yeah.
just start out. Make sure to leave us a review.
make sure to leave us a review on Apple, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can also support us by donating some coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/onthisfrequency. Meow, 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 meow.
This week's episode is brought to you by Rose City Sound with executive producer Big Brother Jake from the Big Brother Jake podcast, produced and edited by Juicebox Bartley. Keep in touch and send us your topic ideas at onthisfrequency@gmail.com, or actually just get in our DMs.